The conflict between Israel and Palestine is a complex and multifaceted issue that has its roots in a long history of territorial disputes, religious tensions, and competing national aspirations. Here's a detailed overview of the causes and consequences of the conflict. 1. Historical background. British mandate. After World War I, the League of Nations granted Britain a mandate over Palestine, then part of the Ottoman Empire. During this period, Jewish immigration to Palestine increased, driven by the Zionist movement's desire to establish a Jewish homeland. Partition plan. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a partition plan that would divide Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, with Jerusalem as an international city. While the Jewish leadership accepted the plan, Arab leaders rejected it, leading to the outbreak of violence. Israeli independence. In 1948, Israel declared independence, leading to a war with surrounding Arab states. The war resulted in the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, known as the Nakba catastrophe, and the establishment of Israel as an independent state. 2. Causes of the conflict. Territorial disputes. The core issue of the conflict revolves around competing claims to the land of historic Palestine. Both Israelis and Palestinians assert rights to the same territory, including Jerusalem, which holds religious significance for Jews, Muslims, and Christians. Refugee issue. The displacement of Palestinians during the 1948 Arab-Israeli War and subsequent conflicts has resulted in a large population of Palestinian refugees, whose right of return remains a contentious issue. Settlement expansion. Israel's construction of settlements in the occupied Palestinian territories, deemed illegal under international law, has been a major point of contention and a barrier to peace negotiations. Security concerns. Israel cites security concerns, including Palestinian militant attacks and rocket fire from Gaza, as justification for military operations and restrictions on movement in the occupied territories. 3. Damage and consequences. Loss of life and displacement. The conflict has resulted in significant loss of life and suffering on both sides, with civilians bearing the brunt of violence and military operations. The ongoing displacement of Palestinians from their homes, coupled with restrictions on movement and access to resources, has exacerbated humanitarian crises. Economic impact. The conflict has hindered economic development and prosperity in both Israel and the Palestinian territories, with frequent violence and political instability deterring investment and growth. International diplomacy. Efforts to resolve the conflict through diplomacy, including peace talks and mediation by third-party actors, have faced numerous obstacles and setbacks. The lack of progress toward a two-state solution has led to frustration and disillusionment among both Israelis and Palestinians. 4. Recent developments. Gaza conflicts. Periodic escalations of violence between Israel and Hamas, the militant group governing the Gaza Strip, have resulted in devastating conflicts, such as the wars in 2008, 2009, 2012, and 2014, leading to widespread destruction and loss of life. Peace efforts. Despite occasional diplomatic initiatives, including peace proposals by the international community, comprehensive resolution to the conflict remains elusive. Efforts to revive negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians have stalled, with deep distrust and entrenched positions on both sides. The Israel-Palestine conflict remains one of the most protracted and intractable conflicts in the world, with no easy solutions in sight. Resolving the underlying grievances and addressing the legitimate aspirations of both Israelis and Palestinians will require sustained efforts and political will from all parties involved.